Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Masafai, back with another video. Before I get started, I need you to give me an HBO special. That's the Happy Brother Hour special by hitting a like, comment, subscribe, and share the content if you would like. Today, I'm going to just be having general conversation about, do structured individuals like myself like attention as well? Like, do we want to be recognized for all our accomplishments, and do we want to feel like a god among insects, so to speak? And the answer to that is pretty much yes. We do have that desire as well. No person on this earth, especially a man, don't want some form of attention for himself, for his accomplishments, or the things he have, or to be admired or looked up to upon in some way. You know, a lot of men who have children get to raise their children with those values and have their children looking up to them. A lot of people out here get to be mentors and do it in that way. And for those who come from the hood or whatever, we're not mentors. So a lot of people from the hood get attention in different ways. And we were always taught a lot of the wrong things from media, the news, even some of our parents, people we're around. We were taught that tangible things gets you all this attention and makes you feel so important, or makes you so important to people. And that's what a lot of us strive for, coming from this environment. We strive to get all of these things just to garner attention from others. And it can be a fulfilling feeling. Going around people, I got this, I got the nice cars, I got the music, I got the clothes, the cardies, the jewelry. A lot of people get these things to try to garner attention. And me, I'm no different in a way, but it comes with one caveat to that. I know where that attention can lead to. Number one, that attention can lead me, if I'm not mentally strong enough, down a spiral path of doing a bunch of bullshit. Being around a bunch of negative people, being around a bunch of negative influence, doing a bunch of things that you don't supposed to be doing out here. Going outside and hanging with the wrong crowd. That's how you end up getting shot. That's how you end up being in the wrong place at the wrong time, because you hanging around the wrong crowd. And a lot of us growing up have ended up in those situations, trying to fit in with the cool kids, trying to garner attention, trying to be, loved on and praised in some form of matter. And for adults, in a lot of cases, it doesn't change. The only change that comes with it is your mentality and your maturity level. So I know for a fact what can come with being around the wrong crowd, trying to garner this attention. With all this so-called fake love comes a boatload of hate. So there's your problem. With all the hate comes negative energy. With negative energy comes envy. And eventually it leads down the path of jealousy. And eventually, some people want to kill you because they can't get what you got and they want to take it. So that's how dangerous attention can be, and being around the wrong type of people, because all this flashy stuff that you have is so many people in the world, far more people in the world will envy you than actually praise you. And they will play their role and play their position until they see an opportunity, and they will rob you and take you out. So with me knowing how deep the rabbit hole can really go and what can happen, well, there goes your mental strength that keeps you grounded, keeps you well adjusted, and you know that in the end, no matter how much attention that you want, no matter how much you want to be recognized for your accomplishments and the things you have, and even getting all the women and stuff like that, that's primarily a lot of men what they want to get. They want to go out there, get the women and all that. And I know for a fact, if I go around the parks and the crowds and the people and everything, that I guarantee you, I know I'll get a lot of attention. Just the Cardis, the truck, the music, and I'm not a bad looking person. So I know I would garner a lot of attention and it would probably feel amazing. But at the same time, with that so-called amazing feeling, it's all fake. It's not worth it because it's far more hidden dangers behind being around that crowd versus staying out the way. And me growing up and maturing, I learned this at a very early age. I learned this probably at the age of 22, 23. And I haven't been hanging around like the parks or the crowds and things of that nature because no one nowadays is trustworthy. And they never will be. And I don't think they ever have been. When you really think about the past, from the days of the mob bosses, the gangs, BMF and everything, eventually it's always with somebody from within the circle that end up robbing, killing, or snitching, or taking out the entire organization as a whole. Most times that always seems to happen. So for me, growing up and having to really pay attention to your surroundings, the people around, not all your friends are your friends. I used to be around my old block I grew up on. I used to hang around a bunch of people where I went to school with them and we were associates, but we weren't necessarily friends. And I used to hang around that group, and I knew for a fact that most of this group were Bloods. You know, like they let me come around and I was cool with them and everything, and they knew I wasn't gang affiliated or anything. But me thinking about it now, and like I said, I even thought about it then after the few times I hung around and whatnot, and it's like, this ain't me. This ain't my life. And not to mention, with the life that they live, it can lead me down a path of destruction and possibly get me killed just being around the wrong crowd. And I allowed my mind to kick in and really mature in that moment and say, I need to eliminate myself from this presence because the attention I'm getting, it feels good and whatnot, but I know where it can lead to. So even structured individuals like me want to be praised and want to be looked at upon and whatever the case may be. But I just know that the dangers it comes with, and at the end of the day, I'm 38 years old and it's not worth it. I learned that almost 20 years ago. It is not worth attention and feeling good about yourself and everything from others. Is way more negative energy than positive, because most people, especially coming from the hood, envy you just based on the life decisions and the life choices that they made. A lot of people that I went to school with didn't amount to be anything, and the other half is probably dead. So a lot of envy comes from you just existing and the fact that you're not beneath them. So it's so much hate that can happen with all this attention and adornment and things of that nature. So that's why I say I allow myself to mentally mature and not go out there seeking attention just to feed my own ego and satisfy myself, because I would rather live a low-key, quiet, in my house type of lifestyle before I go out there and be the life of the so-called party in the neighborhood and end up being taken out because of the hate and envy and somebody just wanting what I got. So yes, we want attention too. We want to be recognized for things too. But we know the energy and all the negatives that come with it. It's far more negative than positive. And the reason being, look at the world we're in. The world is far more negative than positive. And a lot of people don't see the world I see. And that's fine. We're all not going to see the world the same way. But don't say you feel sorry for the way I see the world if you see it as glitz and glamour and whatever. I don't feel sorry about the way I see the world. I see the world for what it is. I actually feel sorry for you for having blinders on. So that's what I think about that situation. I really see the world for what it is. The world is full of negativity. and it ain't getting no better. The black community is absolutely trash. It's tore up from the flow up. Anton Daniel's been saying it for a long time. I also thought it for a long time. I just couldn't figure out a best way to articulate it. I've been destroying and critiquing rap music since the 90s. When I was young, I hated 90% of the stuff out here because it was trash. I didn't like none of the Hot Boys or Lil Wayne or any of that when it came out because they never represented anything positive. And most of the rappers out here never represent anything positive when you think about it. So I've been trashing the rap culture for the longest, and our black culture only seems to get worse and worse and worse along with the planet. And it's just a entire sad situation that I don't think we'll ever get better as a people. Blacks ain't gonna ever get over this hump of trying to do anything great because majority of us are too brainwashed in the whole indoctrination of just whatever the hell they taught us, pretty much. A lot of people don't know how to wake up and get themselves out of the matrix. It is what it is at this point. I'm gonna end the video here. This is me, Masterfy. Give me the HBO special by like, comment, subscribe, and share the content if you like. Shout out to the Poor Man's Podcast. Y'all have a great day. Peace.